A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. Aladdin released in 1992. Wow! And it's directed by John Musker and Ron Clements, who've directed such animated films like The Great Mouse Detective, Little Mermaid, The Princess and the Frog, and Moana. You're welcome. And this film is starring the voices of Scott Winger as Aladdin, the late great Robin Williams as the Genie, Jonathan Freeman as Jafar, Linda Larkin as Princess Jasmine, Frank Welker as Abu, Douglas Seal as the Sultan, and Gilbert Godfrey as Iago. And I'm also going to mention that Brad Kane and Leah Salonga provide the singing voices for Aladdin and Jasmine. And I would recommend, if you're looking for a clip to make you extremely happy, look up the clip of Salonga and Kane singing A Whole New World for the 25th anniversary special that they did on Good Morning America. They sound exactly the same 25 years later. And this is episode 85 of Caleb Watches Movies. We are 15 episodes away from episode 100, and today it's about the movie that I first saw in theaters. It was 1992. I would have been like 3 or 4 years old at the time. We were living in Tomah, Wisconsin, and I remember this film, particularly the part where Aladdin is on the magic carpet and it's a point of view shot and he's flying through the cave trying to get out as it's melting. I remember that shot being so cool because it was 360, it was going all the way around. It was basically virtual reality, kinda. And then I have this memory of, after we saw the movie, going to like maybe Target or something, and I remember there being a bunch of action figures for Aladdin, and I remember the one with Jasmine, and she had her little tiger next to it. Yeah, so I am 99% sure that this is the first movie that I ever saw in theaters. At least definitely the one that I was comprehensive to understand. And what a movie for it to be my movie theater debut! Aladdin is a street rat living on the streets of Agrabah, and he is the diamond in the rough that the evil villain Jafar needs to enter the Cave of Wonders. The purpose being for Aladdin to retrieve the powerful lamp that contains the powerful creature known as the Genie, who has a serious problem of ADHD. And when it comes to comedies or like light-hearted family films like this, I would say that that is Robin Williams to a T. His attention span is everywhere. It goes every which way. Pretty sure that someone did the research, and I think that Robin Williams, at least published in this movie, had about like 52 or 53 different characters. And how can there not be? One second he's doing one thing, the other second he's doing something else. He's just all over the place. But without that zaniness, that comedic timing, that will to just kind of experiment and try different things, I don't think this movie would have been the success that it was. If you would have gotten any other actor in there, this probably would have been something kind of just straightforward, underdog type story. And because we get the zany improvisational skills of Robin Williams, this movie just goes up like 10 or 12 different notches. And I know it's out there, and I really wish that Disney would just publish it in some kind of documentary, or maybe just release it uncut. But all of the hours that Robin Williams spent in the recording studio just doing voices and trying different things, I would watch all of that. I mean, it has to be at least 10 hours, probably even 20. And I would watch every single moment of it, because Robin Williams was such a comedic genius and such a fantastic actor that I would just want to see his process and to see how this thing of his worked. But now it wasn't all just Robin Williams. This story of Aladdin is pretty substantial too. And just like I was saying, this is an underdog story. Aladdin, it's a typical rags to riches story. He aspires to be something more than what he is. So when he finds the genie, of course he's gonna wish to become a prince, to impress the Princess Jasmine, and to potentially be married to her. Which, speaking of, I remember the character Jasmine doing some interesting things to a young Caleb as a little boy. I remember going, I like all the scenes that Jasmine is in. I'm not sure why. And I love her whole story arc about how she doesn't want to be some kind of prize to be won, which is something that we typically see when it comes to a Disney princess, or at least, back in the golden age. There was a princess, she wanted her prince to find her and take her away and sweep her off her feet, get her out of the broom closet and stuff like that. But with Jasmine, I mean, she's already in the palace. She already has the riches. She already has the fame and the adoration. But she doesn't want to be married just to be married, because that's what you're supposed to do. No, if I want to marry, I want to be for love. Which is admirable. And then we have the standard villainous character in our Disney films, Jafar. And this guy, just stereotypical Disney villain. Dark colors, the stringy goatee beard, the deep voice. I must find this diamond in the rough. Oh yeah, he's the villain. I mean, why is he the villain? I don't know, but he is. He does have a hilarious parrot, though. Gotta give him that. If there was any role that Gilbert Gottfried was put on this earth to do, it was Iago. I mean, who would want to see a straight drama with someone who talks like this? Shouldn't have done that. And when I was a kid, it didn't bother me, but me being older and living in this PC world that we have now, the whitewashing of the Sultan is pretty bad. Like, that's really, really offensive. Do I think Douglas Seal is delightful as the Sultan? Absolutely. But he's definitely out of place. He's like that white English guy that traveled over to the Middle East and just started taking over, which may have been Disney's plan all along. I don't know. Disney is taking over the world, and they're the reason why we are so messed up today who grew up with these films. Because if you don't remember, I consider Aladdin to be one of the gold standard trilogy films that Disney Animations has put out, along with The Lion King, which I just did a review on, and Beauty and the Beast, which I still need to do a movie review on the animated version. I did one on the live action version, which but I just love the animation in this film. I remember just being such a huge fan of it growing up. I had coloring books, I had action figures, I had stuffed animals. I even played the Super Nintendo game. It's one of the games I was like the master at. If you ever played it, it only takes like 30 minutes to beat the whole thing. Maybe that's why I was a master at it. Going around collecting rubies, you have a sword and you're fighting off snakes and guards. I mean, heck, they even had a level for A Whole New World where you just collected rubies all through the sky. I mean, any Super Nintendo game that made a level out of a whole new world, I mean, it was awesome. But one of the two things that this movie is known for, alongside Robin Williams' amazing comedic performance, is Alan Menken's score. In particular, the songs that he has with this movie. A Whole New World, Street Rat, Friend Like Me, Prince Ali. Prince Ali, fabulous he, Ali Apagua. And he even had a song called Proud of Your Boy that didn't make it into the final version of this movie, but it's such a delightful little thing. It had to do with Aladdin and his mother, which his mother didn't really fit into the story arc, so they basically cut her altogether. The song did make it into the Broadway adaptation of the film, but it's delightful, but it didn't really work here. But the animation in this film is really great. This is where they were kind of playing around with CGI and computers. That's where we got that cool magic carpet ride through the Cave of Wonders. I just can't love this movie enough. This is where my love of movies began. And anything that just plants the seed or lights the spark inside of me to, ignite my hobby that I have behind me, I have to absolutely love, and I definitely recommend it for all of you. So everyone, I'm gonna give Aladdin 5 out of 5 Blu-rays. All right, let's surprise, surprise. So we're moving right along to episode 86, getting closer to episode 100. And if we just talked about the movie that I first saw in theaters, we gotta talk about the movie that I last saw in theaters. In time, you will know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that you're right, only to be wrong. I'm not even gonna make you wait for it. It's Avengers Infinity War. It has to be. And to just give you like a little preview of my reaction to the movie, or is it more like... So everyone, have you seen Aladdin? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to my channel so you know the next time I post my next movie review. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of Avengers Infinity War. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.